Hey guys, what's up? HockeyMan91 here, and today we're looking at an oldie but a goodie. How does Halo 4 stack up now? So I never actually done the campaign of Halo 4 up until about a month ago, and I found myself enjoying it immensely, but it really got me thinking of how it compared to next-gen games like Halo 5 or even Black Ops 3. Halo 4 was released all the way back in 2012 and was the first Halo to be fully made only by Microsoft's 343 Industries, with Bungie stepping away from the series completely. I was sad to hear about that because I really loved Reach, but that's the way things went, and all things considered, 343 did pretty darn well. Let me get this out of the way. The art style and graphics in this game are really good. I went in and I had a hard time believing it was a 2012 game in some areas. It just looks so good. Obviously it isn't perfect, and yeah, it's pretty old. You'll be able to see some jagged edges and so on, and the resolution's not the greatest, but still, I'd say that it's held up pretty well for such an old game. And before you go in the comments and say, it isn't old, back in my day, the Genesis was my jam, and you know, those games were actually good. Let me just say that generations of video games move very quickly. Anything that hasn't released on next gen can be considered old, at least for me, and that's not including backward compatibility. In my opinion, the story is a bit lacking. I'm not going to spoil anything for you just in case you haven't played this yet, but you're basically stranded on a Forerunner planet where you fight the Prometheans, an alien race, kind of. It's complicated, and of course the Covenant show up a fair few times as well. It's a different take on a Halo game, and I didn't find myself as riveted with the story as I was with, say, Reach. I know a lot of people didn't like Reach. I don't know why. Reach was awesome, but that's another topic for another time. So the story isn't great in my opinion, but no one really cares about that because multiplayer is the most important thing in a Halo game. And I'm happy to say it excels in this area without issue. It's extremely fun and has couch co-op, which is very important to me as I find it fun to be able to play with friends in person as opposed to always be online. It also, of course, has Forge mode, which is great. I've made so many awesome maps. Halo needs good multiplayer to be a good game, and this definitely has that. I spent many hours a couple years ago playing this, and I enjoyed it a lot. It doesn't have Firefight, which is too bad and really makes me cry, but it has Spartan Ops, which are basically fun extra missions you can do. I didn't play a lot of it, so I can't give a lot of info in that department. The biggest issue I have with Halo 4's multiplayer is that it's kind of dead now. There's about 800 people, I think, when I went on, but those numbers will fluctuate a lot depending on when you go on. The people who still play are mostly really good, so if you aren't an avid Halo player, you'll probably get destroyed. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding a match, though, if you really want to. Don't forget that 360 Live is a bit old, and Xbox may consider shutting it down in the next year or two, but for now it should be fine. So how does Halo 4 compare to more modern games? Well, Black Ops 3 was released in late 2015 and is extremely popular with cool new features like wall running, which is not really new, Titanfall had it, and it's set in the future yet again. While it does look beautiful and have a couple things Halo probably never will, big one being that it's a bit more realistic, I guess. It's supposed to be a war shooter kind of thing, but come on, let's be honest, you can't get shot a dozen times and then recover a few seconds later. At its core, it's just another COD game. You could play Black Ops 2 and jump straight into 3 without an issue, as Call of Duty's all run on the same formula. And hey, it sells, right? This comparison is hard to do without favoring one side or the other, so why don't we move on to Halo 5. Halo 5 obviously excels in the graphics department. It looks great, which makes sense considering it was released about 3 years later than Halo 4. The story of 5 was good but short, and the multiplayer is pretty similar to 4 in terms of gameplay. I don't think it's really significantly better or too revolutionary in many areas. Correct me in the comments if I'm missing out on something huge. I've played very little Halo 5, to be honest, but at its core, it's a Halo game, and of course you'll probably enjoy it more than 4 considering that there are more players and new features. The biggest issue I have with Halo 5 is there's no couch co-op. Really annoying, but hey, what are you gonna do? So it stacks up pretty well when it comes down to pure mechanics. I was never annoyed at anything specific, occasional frame drops maybe, but that'll come with nearly any console game. Graphics are older, but not too old yet, and Halo 4 is actually included in the Master Chief Collection, so you can play it on Xbox One if you want. Anyway guys, if you were interested in picking up Halo 4, I would say without question, why the heck not? I guess that actually was a question. But I said I would say it without quite. Oh, okay, I'm getting really confused now. Anyway, you can get it dirt cheap, and it has a fair-sized multiplayer base, but don't expect to be able to play every single game mode. Some are empty due to it never being too popular first place, and less people now, so no one plays it. I like, for example, I think Flood is pretty much empty, at least when I went on. So, hope this helped. Drop a comment to let me know what you guys think of Halo 4, and leave a like if you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.